It's time.
It's time.
It is time.
You're live.
Yeah. We are live.
Yes, we are.
We are live.
Yes.
Here in the studio. Welcome, everybody, to BnB Live. For those of you on Instagram over here, welcome.
Welcome.
And everybody else, well, here.
Well, welcome to you, though, actually, because you're the one who's also kind of like just, well, literally, I'm the one who's pulling in at the moment. But you're coming in from, and I know we're going to get into that anyways, but welcome to you, because you were gone. Baskets and Bees was representing.
yeah. I was at the Fair Trade Federation conference for the last however many days.
Okay, so because there's a lot of people I think that don't, we have to assume that not everybody understands what that is. So before you go into what you did, what is the Fair Trade Federation?
Okay, so here's the thing. So I'll just read right from the program. The Fair Trade Federation is a vibrant community of fair trade enterprises fully committed to equitable and sustainable training partnerships. We strengthen and support our members in order to grow the global movement of trade that values the health of the planet and the labor, dignity, and equality of all people.
Okay.
So it's about providing fair opportunities for marginalized communities, for people who wouldn't otherwise have an opportunity to sell their products or services. And so it's a group of people, businesses like Baskets and Beads, and stores, fair trade stores that stock products. And it's similar to Fair Trade Long Beach, although Fair Trade Long Beach isn't a member yet, but we were there, and Teresa spoke with Alicia from Fair Trade LA about fair trade campaigns and how to become a fair trade town and interesting things like that. But it's for those businesses and stores and partners of the community to get together and learn more about fair trade. And we had an expo for 2 days.
Nice. So with this whole event that you were at, you Baskets and Beads was representing, not only were you there, but I mean, you had product there. So you had like an area station, a booth, right, with product there as well.
Yeah, so there were 44 fair trade vendors set up there.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a big event. 45 vendors.
So there are, and there's another Kenya vendor, Just Tea, who I love their tea. And so there were vendors that had products like that, vendors with clothing, vendors with other handmade products from all over the world, from different parts of the world, from South America, from Mexico, from Africa. It's just all different parts of the world for fair trade and displaying their wares. And there were 2 expo days where people came to look at the products and potentially place orders. Actually had a couple of museums stop by, and they're very interested in some other fair trade stores who, as a matter of fact, there was one when I first started this, and you got to go to a lot of sessions and learn some different things about fair trade. So trust me, my to-do list is very long.
Came back. You have homework then.
Yes, I have homework. I probably look tired because
you look great.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, it's good. I'll take that. So Wednesday night we had a party at Fair Trade Long Beach, where Baskets and Beads has a space, and there were several of the partners that attended the conference. But we had a taco soiree.
Oh, nice.
For the Fair Trade Federation members. And then the store was open. You could go in the store. So I was able to show people that had seen the products. So this is my space here. And they were enjoying the store. And that went from 7. So the expo yesterday went from, the conference started early in the morning, but I didn't get there until the 10 o'clock session because I was just, it's a lot, especially it was in Long Beach, and it's been raining and the traffic and all that.
All the logistics of it and stuff. Yeah.
So I went there, and then they had the expo Tuesday, and then it was yesterday also from 3 to 6. Well, Fair Trade Long Beach was from 7 to 10, but after the expo, you had to break down.
Okay.
And one good thing about being local to an event like this, they provide tables. You know, we've been there with tables before. Well, I was able to pull the table out and you've probably seen it if you anywhere. I posted a photo of it. I had one of our tall shelves and then another couple of fixtures So I was
Nice.
able to display a wide array of products.
Yeah, and just have a different setup as opposed to just the standard tables that you would normally see in a setting like that. So that's
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah, I did see your storyboard. I saw that you know, I was like, it looks really good. I was, you know, it was really.
Of course, I after action reviewed myself, what worked, what didn't work, what could be improved for next time. Definitely could have used a little light
Oh, okay.
because the lighting in there wasn't great. There wasn't any electricity, but I forgot
Your portable?
I had some portable lights and I didn't take those.
Okay.
And that was you should always, I've talked about this before, you should always do an after action review. What worked, what didn't work, what could be improved for next time. Anytime you do any kind of task, event, whatever.
Right.
So I, in my head, after action review.
You kind of had your notes and stuff like that. So is this the first year though that Baskets and Beads has participated with this event? I mean, how are you familiar with how long that they've been like?
They've been 25 years, I think.
Okay.
But the last in-person conference was in 2019.
Oh, okay, because then COVID and everything.
So I participated in the online conference. I had my camera set up, and they gave you a little bit of time to talk about your products and kind of go around and talk about all the things you had. So a couple of people were, actually one person, I'll talk about that in a minute. A couple of people were like, I think I've seen you before. And I thought, how could you have seen me before?
Here, live, online.
And I thought, oh, that's right. I did have I was a vendor, online vendor, and I had my spot and talked about the products. But this is the first in-person event that they have done since 2019. And I had become a member. Baskets and Beads became a member in 2019, and I didn't go. I think it's this time of year, and this is right around the time I became a member, I think, or maybe a little after. I'd have to go back and look at the date. They all kind of run together, but then COVID happened.
So this is the first time getting together since you officially became a member of the Fair Trade Federation.
Yeah, actually they said something in here about it.
Now with Fair Trade Federation, what area does this cover? Is it Los Angeles? How lengthy is Fair Trade when you say Fair Trade Federation, what does that encompass? What is that?
There's members,
areas, regions.
There's members from the US and Canada. So it's it's
global.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know beyond US and Canada.
Okay.
If there are any other members, but that's kind of what it encompasses, and hundreds of members.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's great that Baskets and Beads is a part of this. So, and that you're able to get there, represent, also in preparation for the trip, because that's just around the corner anyway.
Right.
So what else can you share with us from this event? You mentioned someone you were going to talk about right now.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
talk about that.
So there was a museum that stopped by, and I learned something about, which I didn't know about, that there's a museum association. It's interesting. I learned these little tidbits of things I didn't know about because we're moving into wholesale.
Right.
And that's why we're here in this space to move more wholesale and less pop-ups.
Well, this I mean, it's a studio, it's a showroom for for the clients and the people to come in to look at the goods, like you said, and buy wholesale. So that Baskets and Beads it's the duplication,
And actually, somebody who's local is interested in coming by. So
that's awesome.
Very cool. They're like, oh, you're local. You're right down the street. I thought,
yes, exactly. Come on in.
Come on in. And just a reminder, April 16th, if you're local and you want to come on in from 2 to 6 p.m. here, I actually learned something else that I need to do is put it out on Eventbrite. It's on Facebook, but I need to do an event. But so I have a to-do list. It's like, and that's one of the things. But the other lady, she was like, yeah, I've seen you before. And I said, well, I did the fair trade during COVID. And she's like, I don't think it was on that. I've seen you. She's local. So I said, well, I've been a speaker at Orange County SCORE Women in Business. I've been a speaker at women's events here in Orange County. I've done a lot of speaking. She's like, "Oh, you speak on negotiation. I've seen you before."
Okay.
So
She remembered
so that was kind of cool that she remembered me from speaking, and so she's interested as well. I got the name of her buyer, so I have some people to follow up with, and it's my first time, so nobody knew Baskets and Beads. They'd seen or heard of or know I'm on the Fair Trade Federation website, but a lot of it's important about being in person.
Right. Absolutely.
And making those face-to-face, eyeball to eyeball connections.
Yes, for sure. There's something very special and important about that. So it's nice that gathering together is definitely something that's happening again. I'm glad you were able to go as well. It's good things. What else can you share with us from your event? Anything else that comes to mind?
I'm tired. So the event at Fair Trade Long Beach was really nice. We had some really good, had some carne asada, tacos. There was a couple there that made all the food, and they were just
handling it.
They were going. We were only supposed to have about 125 people, but I think probably double that showed up. They had a shuttle bus taking people back and forth. And since I'm part of Fair Trade Long Beach, and I had taken 2 of my tables, and we were all helping break down.
So where were the tables and stuff set up though? Because I'm
in the parking lot.
Oh, I was about to say I'm familiar with I'm like, how are you? Okay, so people were hanging out.
So right at the front of the store, there were like drinks and desserts.
Nice.
And then around in the parking lot where they have the second Saturday was set up a big canopy and tables and chairs.
Nice. Very nice.
Frida, who does the henna, was there doing henna on people.
Cool.
And then you waited in line for the tacos, and it's interesting because we know here in Southern California it's been raining.
Yeah.
And it rained all day yesterday up until about 1 or so.
Okay.
And then it stayed clear until about 11 o'clock, and then it just
perfect timing for you guys.
Yeah, because 10:45 the last bus left, and we were about finished. And funny thing, Teresa comes, "Eldonna, I have your tables." I'm like, "Yeah, I got a car full," because I had broken down from the expo. The stuff was still in my car, and I couldn't.
Yeah, I can't fit them in here right now.
Yeah, I was like, I guess I'll have to get them on Saturday or something.
I think the perk of having the space now here is that having more of a station space of where again people will be able to come visit the showroom, and then of course we have the grand opening that's coming around the corner for everybody to come and see what the new space looks like, get the word out there as well, because having people come through, we can book appointments for people to come in and experience the space, right? And you mentioned wholesale, so I think that's something that's worth talking about a little bit right now in regards to one of the other goals with Baskets and Beads, right? Because we had our first whole order that came in the week we moved in to the building, which was awesome.
Well, if you want to tell the story about that, because that was this place was a disaster.
We literally were moving in that week, and we had just you rented a big Ryder truck, whatever, and we brought everything, and we just kind of put it all in here, and nothing was organized, nothing was set up, none of the displays were set up at that point yet. And then I get the phone call of, "Hey, we want to place an order." And just so you guys know, the wholesale order came from a hospital. So for those of you who are going to be watching this video, I want to just kind of plant some seeds with you right now and some ideas. If you are associated with a hospital, a lot of the hospitals have gifting boutiques. We placed an order. They came in, they purchased the order, and I kid you not, a lot of the product that they purchased sold out in the boutiques, in these hospital boutiques. I'm going to go a step further. If you work in a hospital that has a department, a section for cancer care, right? Cancer patients, specifically, people that are really dealing with cancer.
Right. They have to come there and sit there and get chemo
and treatments and things of that nature. Even in those gifting shops, those types of boutiques, I would highly suggest and recommend you bring in Baskets and Beads. This particular order that went out, they were purchasing a lot of the soapstone, right? The dishes.
Right. And then some of
the
paper beads,
single strand bracelets. There were the soapstone hearts that they were purchasing as well. because, and here's why I'm sharing these things with you. I keep looking at the computer.
I know.
Because that's like our monitor, but okay.
That used to be.
Right. I'm sharing these ideas and these suggestions with you because, number one, if you have access to a hospital boutique, specifically boutiques that are connected to cancer centers and things like that, that purchasing these goods, like one of the gals that came in for that wholesale order, she was talking about how they want to be able to like
have a little something to give them encouragement and strength and hope.
Yes. And I'm just letting you know right now that this order, they're prepared to come back into the space to place another wholesale order because they've ran out of the product. And so they're preparing to come in and place a second order with us. And so I really would like to encourage you, if you're connected, maybe you are the buyer for the boutique at the hospital, and you're going to be watching this segment, that you come into the showroom and you place an order, and we would gladly share with you some of the other things that this particular wholesaler, what they purchased, to kind of give you an idea of some of the things that we know for sure are selling, that people are gravitating towards, and that they are purchasing as well. We believe and we know that selling baskets and beads in your space is definitely a plus. So
yes, I'd love to be connected with anybody. Eldonna at basketsandbeadskenya.com, or you can DM through any of the social media platforms that you're listening on, and we'll get back to you.
And the thing is, there's plenty of ways to get a hold of Eldonna. There's no excuse to how you cannot get a hold of you, because like Instagram, Facebook, of course, the website has all that there as well. You have and most of the time, whenever you're going live, you're always, broadcasting one way or another to get a hold of you. So Eldonna is very easy to get a hold of. And get a hold of her, let her know, hey, listen, or maybe you know of somebody and you're like, I want to give you their information, or I told them about you already, and make that connection. Be a connector.
Yeah,
there you go. Be a connector. For sure.
Referrals are great. And that's actually how I do business for things, because I'll get so many people. And I've if you're listening to me on LinkedIn, because it seems like everybody that connects with me that I accept on LinkedIn then sends me a pitch. So I send them a counter pitch with my nonprofit. Here I have this fund. No, I'm not interested in that. I have this fundraiser. But because I don't do business from a pitch, I do business from a relationship or a referral. If I'm looking for something, I will reach out to somebody, whether it's personal or professional, and say, hey, do you know anybody that does this?
Right.
Do you know anybody that does that? And, oh, yeah, I know this person, because that's a trusted referral. Not just a referral, a trusted referral, somebody that's already established a know, like, and trust factor. And that's a better way than us trying to cold call, because if you try, a lot of times try gives you an opportunity to fail. There's a whole thing around that word. But if you attempt a cold call or whatever, or an email, and I've done that, and a lot of times they don't respond or they don't get back to you, it's so much better for a referral. And we're a small business. I was telling people at the conference, I'm a 3-woman show. 1.5 women in Kenya and 1.5 women in here.
Yes.
Because Vanessa and I, and then Layla and Dorcas in Kenya. So we're that's about it right now. I did, somebody who's a teacher has some people that she's going to see about interns. There we go again, another trusted referral.
Right.
And that may help with things like the newsletter and some of the
yes.
scheduling of the lives and the social media and all that, which we need help with because we can't do it all.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. You have to duplicate yourself, and delegate, which is a great thing. So that way it gives you the opportunity to focus on the parts that you are amazing at with baskets and beads as well. You know what I mean? And so interns are great to have. So I'm happy that that's kind of, here you go.
Yeah.
It's been presented to you. So now this has been done, and now we prepare for April the 16th. So that's going to be a great day. That's going to be a beautiful day here in the space, right? What are some of the things? Let's talk a little bit about what our guests, what they can expect coming in on April 16th. I know we've kind of talked about that a little bit already, and we have some things in place. But let's let them know what they have to look forward to.
Well, obviously, you'll get to come into the showroom. The studio will be set up a little different. We have a plan to flip the studio and have something on the screen so you'll be able to see some of the videos of baskets and beads. You'll get to stroll through the showroom. You'll get to shop. There'll be some specials here going on for some things. Check out our warehouse, connect with other people, hear some of the stories of baskets and beads, ask questions, just tour through and have a good time connecting with people.
Light refreshments and snacks, of
Yes.
course, too. So there'll be some music playing as well. Just to kind of to create that.
Little ambiance.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
the
it's
atmosphere
this
here.
space. Even when you just walk in, it feels so good and
Yes.
relaxing and comfortable.
Yes, it's very
And
peaceful.
yeah, it's very peaceful here. So you'll enjoy being in here. And so we're in the studio, which also has the showroom, and then behind us is the warehouse. So you'll see our complete warehouse setup, and that's still a work in progress. Preparing for some shipping to get set up for shipping, this is the whole reason we moved in here and set this up this way, was to get the whole goal for this year is more wholesale. Made a commitment not to do as many pop-ups because of the amount of work. And there are some I will do, but there are some that, okay.
We'll just be more selective now and understanding where your time is more, when you're getting more out of your time, you know what I mean? As opposed, but I will say this though, looking back at how the year was, you had to do all that you did to get to this point anyways, you know what I mean? And you've graduated.
I've graduated.
You've graduated from that. It's like, okay, now it's time to shift into this and to literally physically move space and have a new game plan going into 2023. Because I remember sitting with Eldonna at the end of last year and saying, okay, what's your game plan for 2023? Let's talk about that. And we talked about a bigger space, right?
Right.
But we didn't know what that was going to look like at that point. But then just things started happening where it just started to kind of like go that way, where it was like, okay, because there's no way you were going to stay in that warehouse over there, with all the things that were happening or whatever. It just was starting to just lead that way, where it was like, okay, it makes sense now. Like,
right. And I started looking and I thought, gosh, there was a certain budget I had. I was thinking of doubling the size. So this area we're in is 400 square feet, which is twice